Shosha says, how can I become an immigrant the legal way? Now, there are a number of different ways to become a green card holder in the United States. One way to get into the United States legally is to get a job. You have to get offered a job by an employer in the United States because you have a skill that is needed in the United States that maybe can't be filled. A lot of technical jobs often require more than what the United States has within the United States, and so they will hire people from other countries to come and work, usually, and offer them some sort of green card or working visa or something like that. Now, usually those are highly skilled jobs, and I can tell you it is not easy to get an offer from a company to come to the United States to work legally. It is really not easy. Now, I can only share my experience of doing this because I have gone through the process, the green card process, and now I'm currently going through the immigration process, rather the process of becoming a citizen. Not me, but my wife. Okay, so I've been married for, it's a good question, 6 years, I think. And so we decided when we were living in China, my wife is Chinese, that we would come to the United States to live. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is fill in a bunch of paperwork. Some people get a lawyer, but you don't have to get a lawyer. You have to be married already, or you could have a fiancé, but basically have a marriage date. But it's definitely easier if you're already married. You can do it from the United States or from the country that you got married in. I got married in China, and it was no problem doing it from China. So you have to complete an application, and you have to provide evidence to support the fact that you're actually married. Okay, that would be something like letters from all of your friends who know you, who sign and then get a stamp that says this is true, right? Legally, they have to certify that it's true. Pictures of you and your spouse together, no, they don't really care too much about that. It's got to be formal stuff. Insurance plans that you have together. All of the things that you have together, including those letters from your friends that prove that you are a real couple and not a fake married couple for the purpose of immigration only. All of that stuff you have to submit along with the application, and you have to pay, obviously. I think it's something like $1,000 the first time. Okay, so then you wait to hear back, and then there's another process of doing an interview. You have to go to the consulate in the country, or perhaps if you're in the United States, and you have to do an interview and submit a bunch more paperwork. Tons more paperwork. I don't even remember all the paperwork, but it was a lot. And I stayed up all night making sure it was all correct and all perfect. We worked on it very, very hard. It's not a simple process. From the time we first started until she got her interview to go to the United States and get her green card, that was about 11 months at that time. This was several years ago. Now, once you get to the United States, if you've been married less than 2 years, then you get what's called a temporary green card, which is a 2-year green card. Then you have to get it updated, which is called removing the conditions. So it's a conditional green card. Once you finish that process, that's another $700, more paperwork, another application, which is just getting the same thing, only permanent, right? Getting the conditions removed. Then you have 10 years. You have a green card for 10 years. Now, if you want, you can apply for citizenship. If you're married to an American, then you can apply for citizenship after being in America, married with your green card, for 3 years. If you have a green card, for example, through your company, a company that hired you, who offered you the green card, then it is 5 years. So 5 years in the United States with a green card by yourself. You can apply for citizenship. 3 years if you're married to an American citizen. If you want to get the citizenship, you can process it a little earlier, basically. That's how it works. Now, you don't get the green card before you go to the United States. So going back, after the interview, then we went on a small vacation, and then we came to the United States with a bunch of paperwork, which they checked again many, many times, checking, asking questions, very complicated, and we traveled with cats. We brought 2 cats over, so that was even more complicated. And then you have to wait to receive your green card. You will get it in the mail after you arrive in the United States if you applied abroad. So then once you get it, you wait 2 years. Unless you've already been married 2 years, then you get the 10-year green card automatically. So basically I'm saying it's very complicated. It's not easy. Probably the easiest way to do it is to do it through marriage, but that's not easy either. Don't let anybody tell you that it is. I know from personal experience, it's very complicated. We're very near the last step of the process for getting citizenship, and it will be nice once that's all over with, because it's certainly been an extremely long and tiring, exhausting, boring, expensive process. But it'll be worth it, because right now she is a Chinese citizen who has an American green card. And when we want to travel abroad, she has to do a lot of paperwork and apply for a lot of visas. But if she had American citizenship, we plan to live here forever, so it makes sense, right? If she had American citizenship, then traveling abroad would be a lot easier. With an American passport, you can go to most countries without applying for a visa. It's a lot easier. It's a lot simpler. So that's probably what will happen. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question.